You'll be happy to know that all of your legislators in this delegation, both Republican and Democrat, voted for what is considered probably the most far-reaching gun bill in America. With it's to be understood, we had Sandy Hook, and so it affected everyone. Now, as a chair, one of the two chairs of the school safety committee of that bill, we put in place a new protocol. Schools have to report their plan to our Department of Public Safety. We also did quite a bit in putting funds aside for schools to be able to reinforce their entryways, have security cameras, in other words, infrastructure improvements. And in fact, that was reauthorized just this year. In addition, we put in some proposals that did pass about early identification as well in the schools, having to do with maybe students that are appearing to have some problems along the way. So we try to cover both mental health, school security, and the gun laws as well. So you can rest assured, and part of, I think, what you're seeing here is the added emphasis, the kind of drills that you have in schools that are to prepare for what we hope never happens.
I would just add to that the two bills on bump stocks and ghost guns have been raised. They're separate bills by the Judiciary Committee. Last I looked, which was yesterday, they didn't have bill numbers yet. They have to be drafted before that happens, so that's where you should look for them. They won't be coming out of the Public Safety Committee. And some of the other things that we have discussed, where there is, since Connecticut has, as both my colleagues said, passed quite a number of measures recently that the rest of the country doesn't have. We'll be looking at probably strengthening some mental health measures, identification, also things like safety in preschools, which has not gotten as much attention as K through 12 schools. So, but we're very alert to other ideas in other areas that might not be covered yet. I think it was also noteworthy. There was an article in the New York Times about a week and a half ago, that pointed to Connecticut as the example that the rest of the country should look to, particularly Florida in this case, but that the rest should look to in order to come up with some new workable laws. Yes. Unless they throw something in there we don't know about, but yes, the principle of both, absolutely. If you have a type of gun that is not accessible to the public, which is the fully automatic machine gun, there's no reason you should be able to make one, because you shouldn't have one. It's essentially a statute. It's quite old. It's much older than the law that we passed in 2013. And it basically, simplistic view, allows if there is someone who someone in their family feels, or someone who knows them feels is a threat to others or to themselves, they can actually request a warrant for the law enforcement to come and take weapons from that person.
I'll tell you, right after the gun bill, which was highly controversial, there was another bill right afterwards about restraining orders. So in other words, if there was a restraining order in a family and there was a feeling of threat, that the gun would be confiscated. But there was a tremendous amount of controversy because sometimes someone could be accused falsely as a way for retribution, whatever the family situation dynamics are, which are very complex. And it was a very difficult thing to discuss, as this might be too. It has some of the same maybe issues around individuals being falsely accused as a way to get back at someone for something. But I will say that I voted for both, including the restraining order bill. And by the way, I was the only legislator in the entire state that was opposed by someone in their own party as a result of that, right in my own district, but I'm still here.